An unprecedented new consciousness is transforming the entire human species. A new world is being born. The old world is disintegrating. Both worlds now call to you. Do you want to live in gratitude, patience, contentment, and awe of the universe? Or in anger, worry, overwhelm, and despair? This podcast will help you choose joyfully and effectively. Welcome. Intuition is the voice of the non-physical world. If you don't believe there's a non-physical world, you won't be able to understand intuition, the power of it, the usefulness of it, the immense wisdom that is accessible through it. You are multisensory. That's why you're watching this video. Multisensory humans experience the world beyond the limitations of the five senses. They still see what color shirt I'm wearing. They still see the road that they drive their car on. They still see themselves in the mirror in the morning. But as they do, they sense that they are more than what they see. They sense that the experiences around them serve a greater purpose than they could have thought or even imagined before. When you ask yourself, what is that purpose? What is it that I'm sensing beyond my personality? That's when you access intuition. Intuition requires that you ask a question. Sometimes it surprises you, as in a hunch. When you leave the house and you get the feeling you should go back and make sure the door's locked. Or when you're about to take a trip and you get the feeling that you should check the brakes before you drive in the rain. Those are hunches. Everyone has experienced or heard about those kinds of experiences. They're the product of intuition. Intuition as it works to keep you in the physical world, as it works to keep you in the earth school. But intuition has other purposes as well. It serves your creativity. Have you ever had an experience of feeling that you should go to an event, and when you go to the event, it wasn't at all what you thought, and you learned something that you couldn't have imagined you would learn? Or it was what you thought it might be, but you meet someone there who introduces you to something else that becomes very helpful to you in your life. That is intuition assisting your creativity. Intuition also serves your spiritual growth. Intuition, the experience of it, is like a fog being burned away in the morning by the sun. And you can see what you couldn't see before. You can see a vista that wasn't there before in all the opaqueness of the fog. Five-sensory perception can only go so far. Multisensory perception goes even farther, and intuition helps you understand what you see when your perception goes even farther. Intuition is the heart of multisensory perception. When you understand that intuition is a conduit to wisdom and compassion beyond what we can give to one another, you will begin to experience how priceless it is. You won't find anything about intuition in the textbooks of psychology because it doesn't exist in the discipline of psychology. And to psychologists themselves, it's a curiosity. But for multisensory humans like us, it's important. It's very important. How important is having access to the compassion and wisdom of the universe to you? It's that important. Five-sensory humans, when they ask a question, they can't imagine the answer coming from beyond their personality, unless it comes from other personalities, for example, reading a book. Because to five-sensory experience, there isn't anything beyond their personality, or the personality, or personalities. There is a great deal beyond and more to multisensory personalities. That is non-physical reality. That is the domain of non-physical guides and non-physical teachers. That is the domain of wisdom and compassion beyond limit, boundless, fathomless. In the Western world, you might say that intuition gives you access directly to the divine. In the Western world, we speak about God. But as you become multisensory, you begin to see that the universe is without bounds. You can see a little more than you can as a personality with five-sensory perception, but you can't see a whole lot more because the universe is unseeable. It's so big. It's so magnificent. It is so fathomless and yet so personal at the same time. All of your experiences are experiences of the universe supporting you. And if you're not sure how, ask yourself, how can this experience support me? What does it show me about myself that I need to learn in order to move beyond my fears and in order to cultivate the love that I have within me? These are the kind of questions worth asking your intuition. Ask and you shall receive. That is the rule. But you must learn how to ask and how to receive. In order to cultivate your intuition, it's necessary to be nutritionally clean. It's necessary to have the lighter your diet, the cleaner your diet, the more vibrant your diet, the more you open yourself to your intuition. You open yourself to your intuition. It becomes more accessible to you when you're also emotionally cleansed. Don't go to bed angry. Challenge thoughts of anger and judgment and resentment and criticism. Replace them with thoughts of appreciation and gratitude and caring and patience. In order to use your intuition, you must honor what you learn from your intuition. It's one thing to notice an insight. It's another to dismiss it, not even to think about it, or to imagine that it is a product of your imagination, not to experiment with it, to examine it. And lastly, to cultivate your intuition, it's necessary to develop an orientation of openness to your life and to the universe. A curiosity, not a blocking off, not a defensive stance, not a fearful stance, not a critical stance, but a stance of openness. This is an orientation that must be developed before you can fully bring intuition into your life. And there's no single way that intuition can occur to you. Some people can hear words. That's an advanced form of communication with non-physical guidance. It's not the only form, and it's not the best form. There's no single best way to experience intuition. Some people hear music. Some people see colors. Some people have interior sensations. Begin to be curious about how you experience intuition if you don't already know. And then experiment. Experiment with your life. That's what you have it for. And when you come to the really interesting questions in your life, why am I here? What can I learn? What can I learn about myself to move beyond my control, to move beyond the control of my fears? Then you are asking questions to your intuition. Ask these questions and then wait for an answer. Assume that the moment you ask your question, the answer is pouring in. You may have to calm yourself or take a walk in order to hear it, but it will come. It will come. It's marvelous to be alive. And when you have experiences that make you question that, ask your intuition, why am I experiencing this, and what can I learn from it? And then listen and honor what you hear. Experiment with what you hear. Be open to what you hear. And by the way, your intuition will never tell you what to do. It will never direct your action. Whenever you hear a voice inside you, in your head or anywhere else that says, do this, do that, you are not accessing your intuition. You are hearing a frightened part of your personality. There is so much to experience, to share. There is so much freedom and awareness to be had. And as you ask the questions in your life, to your intuition, to yourself, you begin the journey and you further the journey. Join me next time to explore the epic transformation of human consciousness that is reshaping our species and your part in it. It may surprise you. I'm Gary Zukav.